The story of Ronda Rousey, the biggest female MMA fighter the world has ever seen. Born in Riverside, California, Ronda Rousey was destined for greatness from the moment she was born. She was born into a family that loved sports, especially wrestling. Her father, Ron, was a professional wrestler, and her mother, Anne Maria, was a professional volleyball player. Ronda began training in judo at the age of 11 after being inspired by watching the Sydney Olympics with her father. At 16, she attended the prestigious East Stroudsburg University, where she continued to train in judo. After graduating, Ronda went on to become one of the most successful judoka in American history. She won 4 medals at the World Judo Championships and an Olympic bronze medal in 2008. But it was in MMA that Ronda really made a name for herself. She started training in mixed martial arts with Greg Jackson and his team at Jackson's MMA in Albuquerque, New Mexico. There she learned from some of the best coaches and fighters in the world, including former UFC light heavyweight champion Quinton Jackson. In 2010, Ronda signed with Strikeforce, one of the top MMA promotions in the world. On March 5, 2011, she made her debut against Etienne Christofle and won by armbar submission in the first round. Everyone was shocked by how dominant Ronda was. She had never competed in MMA before, and yet she was able to submit such a tough opponent with ease. It was clear to everyone that Ronda was a natural at this sport, and she would go on to have an amazing career. Over the next few years, Ronda would go on to fight many top female MMA fighters, and she would defeat all of them. On December 29, 2011, she faced Miesha Tate for the Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight Championship and won by technical knockout in the 3rd round. After Strikeforce folded in 2013, Ronda moved to the UFC where she continued to dominate. On November 28, 2014, she faced Kat Zingano in a title fight and won by technical knockout in the 1st round. This victory made her the UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion. But it wasn't just Ronda's fighting skills that made her so successful. It was also her personality. Ronda was a natural entertainer, and she knew how to promote herself. She was not afraid to speak her mind, and she always said exactly what was on her mind, no matter what. People loved her for this because it was refreshing to see someone who was so honest and genuine. Ronda was also very charismatic, and she was able to connect with people from all walks of life. She was especially popular among women because she was a trailblazer who was paving the way for other female fighters. Ronda was also very humble, and she never forgot where she came from. Despite all of her success, she was still the same down-to-earth person that everyone knew and loved. On November 15, 2015, Ronda defended her title against Bethe Correia and won by technical knockout in the 5th round. But this victory was different. For some reason, Ronda didn't seem as excited as she usually was after a big fight. In fact, she seemed almost bored. It turned out that Ronda was going through a difficult time in her personal life. She had recently gone through a painful divorce, and she was struggling to cope. This was evident in her fighting style, which had become much more relaxed. Instead of going after her opponents with a flurry of punches and kicks, Ronda was now content to just tie them up and wait for them to tap out. This was frustrating for fans who were used to seeing Ronda fight with intensity and passion. They felt like they were watching a shell of the fighter that they once knew and loved. Despite the criticism, Ronda continued to win fights and defend her title, but it was clear that she was not the same fighter that she once was. On November 12, 2016, Ronda defended her title against Dominick Cruz and lost by unanimous decision. This was a huge upset, and it shocked the world of MMA. Ronda had never lost a professional fight before, and here she was losing to a woman who was half her size. The media was quick to jump on this, and they started to speculate that Ronda's career was over. They said that she was washed up and that she would never be able to compete at the highest level again. Ronda was devastated when she read these articles, but she knew that she had only herself to blame. She had become complacent, and she had stopped training hard. As a result, she had lost her edge, and she was no longer the dominant force that she once was. Determined to make a comeback, Ronda took some time off to focus on her personal life. She worked on getting her divorce finalized, and she also began training again. This time, however, she was more relaxed, and she was no longer worried about proving herself to anyone. She simply wanted to enjoy the sport again. On December 30th, 2016, Ronda made her return to the octagon against Amanda Nunes and lost by knockout in the first round. Although she had lost the fight, Ronda knew that she was back on track. She had rediscovered her love for the sport, and she was ready to start climbing the rankings again. But it wasn't easy. Over the next 2 years, Ronda would fight 3 times, and she would lose all 3 fights. On March 4th, 2018, she faced Amanda Leves and lost by technical knockout in the second round. On April 13th, 2019, she faced Amanda Nunes again in a rematch and lost by knockout in the first round. On August 10th, 2019, she faced Julia Budzina and lost by technical knockout in the 7th round. Despite all of the losses, Ronda remained positive. She knew that she was improving with each fight and that it was just a matter of time before she got her hand raised. On July 25th, 2020, Ronda faced Marina Moroz and won by technical knockout in the 3rd round. Finally, after 3 years of trying, Ronda was back in the win column. She was so happy that she broke down in tears during her post-fight interview. She had proven to everyone that she was not done yet. Since then, Ronda has become one of the most popular and successful female MMA fighters in the world. Ronda is also a successful actress, and she has appeared in several movies and TV shows. She is also a devoted mother, and she loves spending time with her daughter. She is also very active on social media, and she loves connecting with her fans. Ronda is truly a role model for young girls everywhere. She is strong, independent, and successful, and she never gives up in the face of adversity. Ronda is a true inspiration, and we can't wait to see what the future brings to her. Thank you for watching this video about Ronda Rousey, the biggest female MMA fighter the world has ever seen. We hope you enjoyed learning about her amazing life and career. If you did, please be sure to like this video and subscribe so you never miss out on any of our future videos. We also encourage you to leave a comment below with your thoughts on Ronda's legacy and what you think the future holds for her. We love reading your comments, and we always appreciate your feedback. Thank you again for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.